Hey, hop in. I'll give you a ride.
Oh, no, that's fine. We'll make it if we walk.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
I've always wanted to ride in one of these things.
It is.
It's awesome.
Really?
Really? Yeah, come on. What are you doing? Come on.
We have enough time.
Michelle Williams stars as Margot, a freelance writer who is married to recipe man Lou, played by Seth Rogen. But Margot likes Daniel, her bohemian neighbour, and Daniel likes Margot, so life is complicated, angst-ridden, and bedevilled by choice.
Congratulations, man. You all in?
Oh, boy.
This will be one for the history
Okay,
books.
hang on.
Oh!
Hang on.
I'm joined now by the Guardian film critic Peter Bradshaw. Peter, I know that our colleague Catherine Shord saw Take This Waltz in Toronto and adored it.
Yeah, I mean, there is what I can only describe as a sensational disagreement between Catherine and myself. It has had good reviews. There are very serious critics who like it a lot. I can only say that I really didn't like it at all. It made me break out in hives. I found it torpid, bland, supercilious, kind of drenched in a kind of whimsy and a weird sense that even though these were 20-somethings, they seem to behave like 40-somethings or 50-somethings. They seem to be so middle-aged in their kind
Or
of
sometimes like kind of 6-year-olds. There's a lot of sort of baby talk.
Yes, there is that other weird thing that they're having baby talk. And the really strange thing about this movie is that on paper it is, as you describe it, it's about a love triangle, it's about sexual tension. And yet this tension isn't there in practice in the movie. They all seem to drift around in this kind of indie fog of kind of gentle, ambient understandingness. I just couldn't stand it. And there is, well, towards the end, there is a sex montage, which is simply one of the most extraordinary things I think I've ever seen.
And you've seen a lot.
And I've seen some filth on screen. I just thought this was really, really weird film.
I liked it more than you. I'm kind of not quite at Catherine's level of adoration.
Right.
But I thought that Michelle Williams, I think, is a great actor and is doing a very difficult job with this role because she's fundamentally self-absorbed, the character of Margot, and not a likeable person at all, that we're supposed to identify with her back and forth drifting, which does go on at an interminable length. But I thought that she did hold it. I thought Seth Rogen was rather good as the sort of bland but pleasant husband.
Yeah.
And yet, there's a crucial lack of jeopardy here.
I mean, an absolute lack of jeopardy.
Away
it's weird.
from
It's
her,
almost as if they're on another planet.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I think Michelle Williams is great. Seth Rogen is all right. He has a weird way of doing the line readings where he speaks, I think, 30% too loud at any stage, but that's something he does anyway.
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman is in it. This really
She's good,
comic.
I thought.
Well, she's okay, but there's nothing for her to do in it. I mean, Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen are razor-sharp kind of comics, brilliantly attuned to irony and cynicism and knowingness. And there's nothing in the air to breathe in this movie. So they do it straight. They do a technically perfectly good job. But I don't see anything there for them.
Is part of your discomfort with this film the fact that it does show you the inner workings of a marriage that's slightly on the turn, and it's almost like peeping behind the curtain. We shouldn't see how people are behind closed doors with their baby talk and their play fighting. There's something a bit queasy about that, but actually it's almost brave to show that, isn't it?
There is something interesting in the baby talkness and how it's killing this sort of sex in their relationship. I understand that. And there is something real in a way, uninteresting and uncomfortable, but real. That's true. But surely to make that work dramatically, you have to show the spark that's provided, allegedly, by the outsider, this other guy called Daniel, who is this painter, played by Luke Kirby, that she's supposed to fall for. And he seems to be no really more interesting than her husband, and her relationship with him isn't any more interesting than the relationship she's having with her husband, really. I mean, if you'd have told me that they were the discontented couple, I would believe you. And in a sense, they are. Yeah. They are automatically and immediately discontented with the relationship which they are developing. And it doesn't seem to be very joyful or exciting or exhilarating. And perhaps most crucially, it isn't really in the slightest bit sexy.
I feel like being out in the world with you. Can we spend the day together, please?
Yeah. I want to know what you do to me.
Wow.